Good morning, students. Welcome to Udan Career Institute once again. In today's class, we will be continuing with chapter 2, that is reproduction in angiospermic plants. So, students, in the last class, we have completed pollen pistil interaction. In today's class, we will start with artificial hybridization. Now, the name itself suggests that artificially we are going to carry out the process of fertilization in this particular topic. So, here, natural process of the fertilization will not take place, and we will carry out an artificial mode of reproduction. Now, artificial hybridization, it is one of the major technique which is used nowadays for the crop improvement program. So nowadays crop improvement program is mainly done by this process, that is artificial hybridization. Now in this particular experiment, only desired pollen grains they are used for the pollination, and the stigma is protected from unwanted pollens or from contamination. So as we have gone earlier, that if the stigma is open or it is exposed, in that case stigma can come in contact with any of the pollen grains coming from any species of the plants. As a result, germination of any pollen can take place on the surface of stigma. But in case of artificial hybridization, what we can do is we can have some desired pollen grains, and we can pollinate the flowers by using these pollen grains. And on the other side, we can protect the stigma so that the stigma is protected from any kind of contamination and no unwanted pollen can come on the surface of stigma. So this can be achieved by two different techniques. One is known as emasculation and other is known as bagging technique. So emasculation and bagging technique, it will help in the process of artificial hybridization. Now emasculation, it is a process of removal of anthers from the flower bud. So when the flower is present in the bud condition, we will remove the anthers. So here, before the anther disseminates, the anthers are cut and the pollens are being removed. So removal of anthers from the flower bud before the anther disseminates, and by using a pair of forceps, this process is known as emasculation. So from the bud condition, we will remove the anthers of the flower by using a pair of forceps. Now it is done when female parent bears bisexual flowers. So emasculation is necessary when there is presence of bisexual flower. Otherwise, if the flower is unisexual, then emasculation is not necessary. The another technique is known as bagging technique. Now emasculated flowers means the flowers from which the anthers have been removed, they are covered with a bag of suitable size made up of butter paper. So using a butter paper, we will cover the flower so that it is prevented from any kind of contamination from unwanted pollens, and the stigma can be protected. Now when the stigma becomes receptive, then we will remove the bag, we will open the bag, and mature pollen grains which we have collected from the anther of the male parent, they are dusted on the surface of stigma, and the flower is rebagged once again. So once again we will close the flower with the help of bag, and we will allow the process post pollination even to take place so that finally the fruits are allowed to develop. If the female parent it produces unisexual flower, then there is no need of emasculation. The female flower buds are bagged before the flower opens. As we have gone earlier, that emasculation is only necessary in case of bisexual flowers. It is not necessary in case of unisexual flowers. So when the stigma becomes receptive, pollination is carried out, and once again the flower can be rebagged. So this is a particular technique where the anthers are removed in the initial stage before the pollination takes place, and the stigma are covered with butter paper so that they can be protected from unwanted pollens. So emasculation and bagging technique, they are two main techniques which are involved in artificial hybridization. Now moving towards double fertilization. Now, this process was identified or demonstrated by Navaskin in 1898 in Lilium and Fertilaria plant. Now the pollen tube, as we know, that it enters through the micropyle and it will enter into one of the synergate of which is present in the egg apparatus. Now as soon as pollen enters into the synergate, it will release two male gametes into the cytoplasm of the synergates. So pollen tube contains two male gametes which were obtained from the generative cell. So these two male gametes are released into the cytoplasm of the synergates. Now out of these two male gametes, one male gamete will move towards the egg cell and it will fuse with the nucleus of the egg cell, and it will complete the process of syngamy, that is fertilization, and this fusion it will lead to the formation of diploid zygote. So one male gamete fuses with the nucleus of the egg cell and leads to the formation of diploid zygote. Now the another male gamete which has also been liberated into the cytoplasm of the synergate, it will move towards the two polar nuclei which are located in the central cell, and it will fuse with them. As a result, it will produce a triploid primary endosperm nucleus, which is also known as PEN. So it is a triploid in nature because there were already two polar nuclei which were present, and one nuclei it came from the male gamete. All the three nuclei fused together. As a result, it is known as triploid primary endosperm nucleus. Here, in this case, it involves fusion of three haploid nuclei, as I have told, that is, two polar nuclei and one nuclei from the male gamete. That's why this is known as triple fusion. Now, as there are two types of fertilization which is taking place, first is syngamy and the second one is triple fusion which is taking place in the embryo sac. This entire phenomena is known as double fertilization, which is a unique event which is seen in flowering plants. Now the central cell after triple fusion becomes the primary endosperm cells, and this primary endosperm cells will further develop into an endosperm, and the zygote which has formed, it will develop into the embryo. So this is an important thing, that endosperm it develops from PEC, that is primary endosperm cell, and embryo it develops from the zygote. So in the next class, we will continue with post-fertilization structures and events. Thank you very much.